welcome to episode 51.
We're going to talk about all the exciting things because D23 just wrapped up. So we've got lots of Disney news to talk about.
Here we go. Hi, and welcome to the adventures of Two Gray Mice. I'm Meg.
And I'm Rob.
And we are Two Gray Mice.
Off and running.
So D23 happened last weekend, and Disney dropped a whole bunch of announcements about all their parks, whether they were domestic or foreign, as well as movies and books and everything else that Disney comes out with during the year. But we, being people that are involved in just travel here, we're going to talk about the Disney parks, focusing on our own here in the United States.
Okay.
Cool beans. So we're going to start in Florida and at the Magic Kingdom. They had this big announcement of what they were going to call the new land that was beyond Big Thunder Mountain, which is Villain's Land, which is what we'd all been calling it anyway. So it was kind of a, wow, that really wasn't much of an announcement, but whatever.
But everybody's been looking forward to this for quite some time. We're pretty sure that that's exactly what was going to go into this chunk of park. And we were correct. And the artwork and the concept sketches that we've seen so far are fantastic.
Yeah. And they gave us the story behind what they are creating. So, the Imagineers always have a theme and a story that goes with whatever they're building so that you can get more involved in it and it's more immersive. The story begins with the wishing well. But unlike the wishing wells we're used to in Disney stories, somebody made an evil wish. The wish was so powerful that it actually broke apart the well and spread poisoned magic throughout the surrounding forest. That dark magic begins attracting Disney villains. One by one, they come to the area trying to claim the remaining power of the well for themselves, and they use that magic to create their own fortresses and palaces. Disney says those buildings will become the attractions, restaurants, and shops throughout Villain's Land. Imagineers are calling the design style conjured architecture.
Conjured architecture.
They started Art Nouveau and modernism architecture in places including Paris and Barcelona, looking at the exaggerated proportions, curved natural shapes in buildings. So they were to make it feel like the buildings were created more by magic than by man.
And like we said, some of the sketches are just fantastic. If you've ever been to Pandora, I think a lot of the rock that I'm seeing in these concept sketches reminds me of the huge outcroppings.
Oh, yeah. The floating mountains.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, Villain's Land is going to have some rides. And what we were really excited about is in the one series of photographs, there's a coaster. And there's a coaster that winds its way through this conjured architecture.
Yes. And it's Maleficent's coaster. And what I find interesting is it follows the artwork of the original cartoon.
Yeah, pretty closely.
Pretty closely. So you really feel like that you've entered that realm, that world of Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, I mean, the ride vehicles seem to be wonderfully themed. It's a traditional 3-rail coaster, and it looks really interesting.
Yep. So the guests will answer an invitation from Maleficent and race through the enchanted briars surrounding her fortress on top of a mountain. The ride vehicles look like black dragons. The artwork is based on, like I said earlier, Ivan Earl was the main artist of the original cartoon. They aren't giving us the ride systems or anything else. They are saying it's a family-friendly roller coaster, so I'm guessing it's going to be more along the lines of like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train than, something that goes upside down, like Rock and Roller Coaster.
Right. And I'm just hoping like this one thing that I'm seeing in the picture here doesn't really exist on the real coaster, which is like this missing chunk.
Yeah, I'm assuming there's no missing chunks.
No.
Rob's looking at the model.
Yes.
They had a full model out of it, actually of the entire land at D23.
Yeah, and I'm a model geek. So the photos were fantastic.
Yeah. The second is Magic Mirror Dark Ride, which seems to be more of a traditional Disney dark ride along the lines of Snow White's Adventures and Peter Pan. You enter the Evil Queen's palace and travel into the catacombs underneath it, where she keeps the magic mirror. The magic mirror then transports you into something Disney is calling the Mirror Realm. Inside that realm, different villains can be conjured by the mirror, allowing Disney to use characters from different movies without pretending they all randomly live in the same spot. Disney says the experience will use a combination of physical sets, special effects to bring the villains and the mirror realm to life. It definitely more of an updated version of a dark ride.
Right, but I feel there's got to be some sort of a car, a ride vehicle
Right.
that's moving from static set to static set through these different realms.
Yeah, and then that makes me wonder if it's gonna be more like Mickey and Minnie's, it's gonna be trackless, kind of a dark ride. Is it gonna be, an
That'd
omnimover so that we're constantly
be
going?
wicked cool if it was,
You know,
trackless.
it could be a boat ride. They're gonna have water.
Yes, they are gonna have water.
So,
So, we know there's gonna be more announcements coming up, say March, April of next year.
hopefully, I mean,
Very
they're
much
right now they're saying
very
29, I think they're hoping,
yeah,
maybe
but
30.
very much looking forward to the additional details.
Yeah. Yeah, very much looking forward to it. And I like the fact that they're, with the background story, the wishing well, it gives a reason why you're gonna have the Evil Queen and Maleficent and
Right,
Cruella de Vil.
and it just gives them such a huge palette, to work off of in terms of the theming.
Mhm.
I think
And
it's
it's
gonna be
gonna be
cool.
large. It's
Yeah.
gonna be approximately the same size as Galaxy's Edge, which is a nice chunk of land.
Yes, so I think they're gonna be able to do an awful lot with it. And I think just like Galaxy's Edge, you're gonna have your big ticket rides, but then you're gonna have all this neat stuff to just kinda wander around in.
What do you have a favorite villain?
You're my favorite Disney villain.
I know, besides me.
No. Ah, do I have a favorite villain? I'm gonna go old school and say Cruella.
No, it's not old school, but yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
everybody loves Cruella de Vil, but I know you love Glenn too, so
well, yes, yes. I'm a big Glenn Close fan. Um, but yeah, Cruella de Vil.
because 'cause they've already mentioned her lair, and they've called it a lair.
Yeah.
So people are kinda hoping that, just like on the ships, that it's the cocktail bar.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be very cool. So again, they're gonna give us a lot more information in terms of, layout of this extension of the park, what may be offered in terms of, souvenirs and beverages, the rides. Very
Yep.
much looking forward to it. It sounds really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's gonna be a bit. But opening before that, hopefully by about a year, we will have the next thing in Magic Kingdom.
And this I'm really looking forward to. Next door in Frontierland, Disney gave us much more information about the Cars expansion, and we finally know why they're calling it Piston Peak National Park instead of simply Cars Land. The idea is that Frontierland has always resembled a journey west. So you move from the colonial feeling of Liberty Square through areas inspired by different parts of American history and geography, eventually arriving around the southwestern landscape of Big Thunder Mountain. And Piston Peak will then continue that journey into the American wilderness and the national parks of the West. The pictures are fantastic. The model's really cool.
Oh, the model's really cool.
So the land's going to have towering trees, waterfalls, rivers, geysers, and a very huge snow-capped mountain inspired by the Rockies. There's going to be a visitor lodge, ranger headquarters, and lots of trails. Disney's even using what is called architecture, the rustic architectural style developed by the National Park Service to make buildings blend into their natural surroundings. I had no idea architecture was a thing.
Yeah, it is.
What's nice from the photos that we've seen so far and the model that we've seen so far is they're really breaking the land up. They're using a lot of trees, a lot of as screens, buildings as screens. I think it's going to have a very, very intimate feel to it, even though it's quite a large area. It encompasses everything that was River of the Americas and then some.
Yeah, well,
And it's big, but I just, I can't so I'm just very, very excited. Because we went to, Cars Land when we were out in California at TCA, and Meg will tell you, I was over the moon about the area. We went back to it several times. We had so much fun. just fantastic theming, a lovely interaction with all the cast members there. The ride was fun. And this ride looks like it's going to be even more fun because they're taking the ride vehicles off road, which I can't wait to see that. So the premise is that racers from around the country have come to Piston Peak trying to become the wildest racer in the wilderness. I did say that correct.
I believe you did, yes.
Wilderness. Guests will climb up Piston Peak itself, reaching an icy, snow-covered summit. Then you'll plunge down the mountain, including a camelback descent, race through rugged terrain, and eventually enter a geyser field that looks like an exceptional amount of fun, before racing around the old tank-full geyser towards the finish.
You gotta love Disney and their puns.
Yeah. Lightning McQueen and Mater will be covering the event for the Racing Sports Network. I just can't wait. It's the really interesting part's going to be these ride vehicles. It's not supposed to simulate an off-road vehicle, but the engineering behind it is going to behave as such. So I'm getting the feeling that it's an under-track ride.
Yes.
And it's going to have motion left, right, up, down, forwards, backwards. Not to the point where I think, you might consider not eating before going on the ride, but I think it's just going to give you a real feel of driving around in the wilderness.
I think that you're going to get that feeling like when you're going uphill on the peak, you're going to get that bumpity, bumpity, bumpity,
Yeah.
bumpity.
See, it says here, the tires and suspension will physically react to the terrain underneath it. So Disney says riders will feel bumps, rocks, drops, and changes in the ground as the vehicle drops across the course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
interested in the
That's
ride vehicle and how they're going to do this.
Yeah.
Because, when I first announced this, I was like, okay, once again, test track.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Cars is out.
Right, but it
DCI.
doesn't seem like this is that at all.
But it doesn't seem like this is all. This seems like a completely different
type of
ride.
So, and the landscape that you're going through while you're on this ride is going to include ridges, rivers, mudflats, trails, geysers, and mountainous terrain. Then it's going to be another ride called Miss Fritter's Daredevil Spin Along, which is a more family-oriented attraction. It's themed around Miss Fritter from Cars 3 and her demolition derby. The centerpiece will be a school bus-sized Miss Fritter audio animatronic, hosting what Disney describes as a stampeding demolition derby style bash.
And I don't know if this is like, what is it? The Mater ride. I don't know if it's going to be like
a spin.
But like, I remember on Maters, they spun one way, but then the three cars spun in the middle. So you kind of coming close to each other.
I'm trying to remember what the carnival ride was called.
Yeah. But it's like Maters, something like that. I'm curious if that's what it's going to be like.
It looks like it's going to be fun.
Now, half the Disney fandom out there is, still furious that Rivers of America is gone. And then they're like, Cars doesn't fit. I think the national park aspect of this makes it fit better. But you're like Frontierland, so it's the 1800s, 1700s, and then Cars.
I think you may have to suspend your disbelief for a moment or two.
Yeah, but if you go around, like the way we described it here is you were going from the Southwest, but if you start at Liberty Square, right? So you're in the 1700s. And then you go over to the Frontierland, where you're in
so you're saying
the 1800s, right?
Should have put the entrance closer to Haunted Mansion and around the other side.
Well, so you've got that whole...
I'm not going to debate them on that.
Well, yeah, but then you go up to Big Thunder Mountain where you've got a railroad. So you're kind of going through American technology by going around in a kind of awkward circle too.
True.
As well as New England, the West, the Southwest, and the national parks.
Maybe the purists have a problem with it, but I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to the park.
Yeah, I think it will be too.
I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And how long do we have to wait for this again?
This is probably... Villains Land's probably 30. This is probably 29. They haven't told us timelines for either one, but...
We did watch a video. It was very, very informative. They have an awful lot of the retaining wall concrete poured. They are working on pouring footings, and it's probably going to be another couple of months. They'll start putting steel up.
Yeah, I'm really also hoping that there's a play area in here, like the wooded play area in DCA kind of thing.
Well, it looks like there's gonna be lots of secluded areas. They're gonna be the same, trail system that,
DCA has in that one
DCA
area.
has in the other area, which isn't Cars Land.
Right.
It looks like there's going to be a lot of dedicated theming to, Cars 3 and that
That whole
version.
right.
Yeah, so,
No,
mm,
and I'm looking forward to it. I'm just, because we are losing Tom Sawyer Island or lost Tom Sawyer
we
Island.
lost her. It's gone.
You know, yeah. So many people didn't go out there, but it was great when the kids were little.
Yes, it was, and it was, for nostalgia buffs like us, have the photos. It was a wonderful afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, the kids were overloaded at that point, so getting them on a float across the water and just letting them be kids for,
Half hour, 20 minutes.
was
Yeah, it was
was
great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So I will miss that. Um,
Not that we have the
but I'm
children, but
sure
yeah.
yeah, but I'm sure there'll be areas within, this particular new attraction. It's
Yeah, I think there will be too.
yeah.
The next thing we heard more about is the Carousel of Progress, which is already closed. It is getting a much needed rehab, and it is being brought forward in time, forward in time, where it started in 1900 before? I think it was 1900.
Oh,
Um,
supposed to look this stuff up.
the attraction will now begin in the 1960s. And part of me is insulted by that, but I guess not. So,
I'd like it to start in the 50s
yeah, just
personally.
because, yeah, only,
Yeah.
and I only say that because I started in the 1960s as well. Then it jumps to Halloween in 1985, New Year's Eve in 1999,
Y2K.
Y2K, and finally into the possible future just like before.
Yeah.
If anybody watched the announcements on Disney Plus, Neil Patrick Harris does an amazing imitation of Father. Just like the stiffness, the whole bit. He was fabulous. So needless to say, there's a whole new script. They can't use the old wording. So Jamie Lee Curtis and Bryan Cranston, two of my favorite people in this world, will voice mother and father. And of course, there's going to be a new introductory scene with Walt Disney himself.
Walt Disney himself and a lot of people are talking about this animatronic. It's gonna be something special. So, I'm very much looking forward to that as well. But it's about time the Carousel got, a thorough makeover. We've had several go-arounds in the Carousel of Progress that, uh,
Got us
were not
nowhere.
complete go-arounds, do-overs, if you will. So, yeah, it's always been one of my faves.
Always.
Um,
And thank God they're not getting rid of it.
no, yeah, that would have been no. No, no.
No. No, no, no.
Alright.
But
Now,
yeah, it's
uh,
making me feel old that,
yeah.
1960s is considered history.
So this next one needs a little more explanation because saying they're updating Spaceship Earth makes it sound like it's a normal refurbishment. But Disney has now confirmed that Spaceship Earth is getting its first major reimagining in almost 20 years. Uh, for anyone who hasn't ridden it, Spaceship Earth is the attraction inside Epcot's giant geodesic sphere. The ride takes you on a slow journey through human history, from the view of how we communicate, from prehistoric people telling stories on cave walls, through the development of writing, printing, computers, and modern communication. Uh, and the ride system itself is fairly insane. I mean,
It really is. I mean, we really look at like the models of it going, starting at ground level and going all the
crazy.
way to the top of the dome and back down again.
So it's a if you know nothing about the ride, it's a continuous chain of ride vehicles that spirals all the way up through the top of the inside of the 180-foot sphere, and then at the top, the vehicles turn around and begin the descent backward. Right now, the attraction is fundamentally about the history of communication. Disney says that the new version will broaden that idea into a story about human connection. So that'll be interesting. Uh, at this time, the attraction will finally move beyond its somewhat dated vision of technology and into the internet age and whatever comes after it. Now, here's what's really interesting. Disney did not announce that Spaceship Earth is being gutted. They didn't tell us that they're replacing all the scenes. They specifically said that they would not be. They didn't announce a narrator. They didn't give us a reopening date. What they did announce is a reimagining of the story and the theme. So there's a lot we don't know
No.
about this particular
And,
refurb.
and I would be nervous if the last couple of reimaginings and refurbs weren't done as well as they were. The reimagining of Buzz Lightyear is wonderful.
Mhm.
So I think that they finally figured out how to reimagine something and keep the nostalgia factor, keep the history in it, you know? And I think there are scenes that need to go, but I think we're also still gonna have the burning of Rome.
Right, but, I would for my money, I would like to see some of the scenes updated in a way with, either with the animatronics or just with with the physical,
Oh, yeah.
um, set, if you will.
Right,
Uh,
because there weren't
it's
animatronics
a
in every
great
scene. It's a great ride.
it's a great
And also,
it's a
like,
lot of fun.
that last third when you after you turn around and you're just going through that needs help.
Yeah.
And communication to connection, I don't know.
No, does the smell stay? I can't believe you wrote that down.
Well, because come on, the burning of Rome, you smell the burning of Rome.
That's true, that's true.
That's what everybody there's a definite smell. It'd be like if you went to Pirates of the Caribbean and it didn't smell like anything. You wouldn't know what ride you were on. There's a smell like Pirates of the Caribbean. You know it. It's the water. You smell it. You know it's there. Same thing, Spaceship Earth.
Alright, I'm gonna give that one to you. I don't want to, but I'm gonna give it to you. Now, as far as who should narrate it?
There's so many people that could narrate it. I mean, Dame Judi Dench is a hard act to follow.
No, I'm going with Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, we just gotta
I know he does
true.
everything.
I can't remember who
You
did
hear
it
his
before.
voice everywhere,
Can't remember who did it before. It was a man.
but
Anyway,
Morgan gets my vote.
okay, I can see that. I can totally see that.
And yes, I am excited that Disney is finally, addressing, Spaceship Earth,
Yes.
because it is the first thing you, encounter when you get into the park.
It's
Very
daylight time.
often, yes, very often, the ride lines are not crazy, so people wanna go on it, and I think it's about time that it got a well-deserved sprucing. They've done so much with the exterior of the dome
Oh, yeah.
in terms of the lighting, and they updated all the lighting in the plaza and all the lighting that, you see when you come up to, Spaceship Earth and then into the plaza behind it. So I think it's about time that the actual dome itself. Yeah.
Yeah, and that whole star scene at the end needs help. And I don't know if they need to add another scene. If can they, because of the way you're coming down, and then go into the stars. I don't know, but it needs something. Then at the tail end of the show, almost like a throwaway, everybody's celebrating, everybody's on stage, and then Neil walks back in and turns around, and he's dressed as Dreamfinder from the Imagination ride, and he's got Figment in his hand, and that's how they announce that they're redoing that ride. Which, I mean, we did.
Missed that part.
Yeah, because it was easy. If you blinked, you missed it. Disney confirmed that Figment and Dreamfinder will be reunited in the new Journey to Imagination experience at Epcot. That's it. That's all they've told us. They haven't told us when it's closing. They haven't told us when the time. Nothing else. That's going to be reunited. Now we just did Journey into Imagination when we were there in December.
Yeah.
For the first time in
Quite a while.
probably over a decade. It needs it.
Yeah.
And I remember the Dreamfinder version of it. It was good.
It was. It was.
That needed to be updated.
But again, I think this goes hand in hand with so much of the work that we've seen going on. You tweak this area and now this area looks, a little worn and dated, so you move over there, you do that area. So I'm very excited about that too.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Now we are going to switch parks into Hollywood Studios
Yeah, and this is big.
and
This is
Monstropolis.
big. Monstropolis.
It's all you. Turn the page.
Oh, okay. I've been looking forward to this area since they first announced it.
Since they mentioned the words door and coaster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because, I mean, anybody who's seen, Monsters Incorporated, that whole, door scene in the warehouse towards the end of the movie, I don't think there's a single person who ever saw that movie who didn't go, "Wow, that would make a great ride." And it was funny because when they were having the panel discussion,
Yeah.
a little bit that I saw, that was one of the things that they said, "Wow, this would be a great ride." Well, it's going to become a ride. They are well along in the fabrication process. The surrounding, buildings, and all the architecture that's coming together looks fantastic. And it really looks like you're gonna step into, the Monstropolis of the movie. And, the theme that they're using is just absolutely delightful. It's called Human Day, which stands for humans understanding that monsters are nice. It's like a citywide cultural exchange.
Right.
That's what they're
Which is
building
why
up.
we're there and now know about Monstropolis.
Just just fantastic. I can't wait. So parts of the land are going to start opening at the end of this year. The major door coaster, that's probably not opening until the middle of 28, the end of 28.
Something. Well, yeah, they didn't give us a date of that at all.
But one of the features in the land is going to be the Glob Theater. Mike and Sully are hosting a new theater show called Welcome to Monstropolis. I can't wait to hear about that. Sully has apparently put together a small, wholesome presentation introducing humans to monster society. Mike, being Mike, decides it needs a little bit more show business. Like Disney legend Randy Newman wrote a completely original song called Welcome to Monstropolis for the production, his first song written specifically for a Disney theme park. I find that so hard to believe, but fantastic. Great to hear. There's going to be a pizza restaurant themed around Archie's Scare Pig Pizza. So Archie's that six-legged mascot from Monsters University. Yeah. Next door will be the Monsters University Alumni Club, which is going to feature displays honoring favorite scarers and organizations from the university. And then this is Harry Hanson's. Unbelievable. Disney's actually building Harry Hanson's, the restaurant where Mike and Celia go on their date in Monsters Inc. The restaurant will feature an audio animatronic monster sushi chef with multiple tentacles preparing food. Can't wait to see this. And Disney says the menu will be unlike anything currently offered at Walt Disney World and has already emphasized that it will not be sushi only. So I'm very interested to see what the offerings are.
Yeah. Yeah.
This should be fun. The gift shop is going to be called the Scaraporium. Because Disney's legally required to make sure you cannot leave a new land without purchasing something. And then there's the door coaster. So we already knew about the suspended door coaster where riders are going to travel through the door house from Monsters Incorporated, but Disney confirmed construction on it is continuing even as other parts of Monstropolis begin welcoming guests in 2027.
So would you rather them wait and open the entire land at once? Or do you mind the fact that they're going to give us everything but the roller coaster first?
I'll take everything except the door coaster, sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I mean, because you need some, right now it's a big green wall and it says, pardon our pixie dust on it. And I just, it gives people more places to go to, more things to do, another restaurant to go to. I'm hoping the pizza at Artie's Pig Place is better than what it was before. I don't have high hopes for that.
We could be pleasantly surprised.
Pizza.
That was dreadful pizza, yeah.
Yes, that was awful pizza.
And I mean, we're New Yorkers, so we're a little picky about our pizza. But that was pretty dreadful pizza.
Yeah, it was pretty dreadful pizza. Yeah.
But just the photographs of the architecture coming together look really cool. I'm very much looking forward to it opening. Can't wait until the door coaster's up and running.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to that video.
Going to Harry Houston's and I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be very immersive land. I think they're going to be wandering monsters, and I think it's going to be fun.
So you asked the question here: is Hollywood Studios becoming a collection of highly immersive mini worlds rather than a park with one cohesive theme?
You've now got Monstropolis. You've got Galaxy's Edge. Then you've got the new area that just opened up. That's like Disney animation.
Yeah.
And then you've got like over by Baseline Tap House. It's like still semi Star Wars, some shows.
Toy Story.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe in a way it is. Maybe that's going to become the new descriptor for this particular park.
Yeah.
It's one of my faves. I mean, I do enjoy a day there very much so. And nighttimes there are great. Yeah,
but I'm kind of glad it became very hodgepodge for a little bit there.
Right.
Like,
and I think
they're pulling it back together again, making it more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, doing what they can with what they have. So Harry Hansen's, is this now a dining reservation we desperately want? I have no idea.
We don't know until we see a menu.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. And the next one, this is a big one too.
And yeah, Tropical Americas is going to open in piecemeal as well. And I think Monstropolis is going to open up first, and shortly thereafter, Tropical Americas is going to open up because they're already moving and grooving on it.
Oh yeah, they're doing fantastic, and this is over at the Animal Kingdom Park.
Yep.
Another park I love.
So the former Dinoland USA area is being replaced by approximately 11 acres Tropical America built around stories, wildlife, and culture and mythology of Central and South America. So they've also making the area bigger than it was when it was Dinoland.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be 2 major rides and 1 minor ride. Encanto ride, Indiana Jones ride, which is the dinosaur ride, plus a carousel, dining, shopping, children's play area because you're losing that whole huge, great play area they used to have. And got a lot more information about the headliners that are going to be there. The first one is Antonio's Fiesta de Encanto. So at the beginning of the movie, Antonio is getting his magical gift, which is the ability to speak to animals. So basically, we've been invited to that event, and the ride vehicles actually look just like, and I think this is going to be a trackless ride, just like the ones from, like, similar to the ones at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yeah.
But they're made up of furniture pieces that the house threw together because the house is magical and moves things around. So it's like a couch
They
with
look
that
really cool.
with a piano in the front,
yeah,
or a bookcase.
yeah.
And
It just looks really
interesting.
fun, really interesting. I like some of the stuff that they're talking about doing with this whole area. There's going to be a rainforest habitat
Right,
within the ride.
right, because that's what his room turns into.
Right.
And supposedly the furniture itself will behave like almost like a character, moving and reacting to what's happening around in the house. We're going to ride upstairs to Antonio's room, where there's going to be more than 50 animatronic animals in amongst the ride that is going to be in his rainforest room, filling up that scene.
Yeah, this is
and
very cool.
We saw a donkey, a capybara, and a toucan as examples in the pictures.
Yeah.
It's they've been traveling to Colombia to get ideas for the environment outside and inside, for the animals, Skechers, what's down there, what's native to Colombia, because that's where Encanto takes place. Maribel, Luisa, Isabella are all going to be part of the ride, are in the ride somehow, and are lending their voices to the ride. And there will be no height requirement, so it's good for everybody.
Going to be a good family-friendly ride.
Good family-friendly
And
ride.
the photos of the renderings, very colorful. It's going to be a fun area.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun area.
And again, I think it's going to follow along with a lot of the areas in Animal Kingdom. It's going to be broken up into little teeny tiny chunks as you walk around. So you're going to get constantly bombarded with like a new setting, something new to see, something new to do. I think it's going to be
right. And I think the area around Indiana Jones is going to be like the South American rainforests, and then around Encanto, more like Colombia, and then like a village square of a South American town is going to be like where the carousel is.
Yeah, and
giving you very
Indiana
different areas.
The Indiana Jones ride looks really interesting too.
Yeah.
That serpent.
It's huge.
It's gigantic. I mean, if that's really to scale,
yeah,
it's a very, very little tiny human in front of that huge, gigantic serpent head. Yeah.
Why don't you tell us more about it?
I don't really know much. The ride itself sounds like it's going to be another motion car ride. Probably not an awful lot of up and down, bumpy left, right kind of stuff. But it's going to have a bunch of static sets. Looks like they're going to have atmospherics. Looks like they're going to have animatronics. Looks like they're going to have projections. I have high hopes that it could be just as fun as engaging as Monsters Unchained.
Well, it's going to be a Jeep ride again, like was, because they're re-theming dinosaur. It's Indiana Jones and the myth of the Jade Serpent, hence the huge
jade
serpent. And So I heard someone say, because there's an Indiana Jones ride in California, this huge serpent there. Someone's like, "And you're afraid of a rock?"
Yeah, exactly.
It's huge. And basically, the thing is, he's going in there obviously for an architect, some piece of that he wants, and he's sucked into the underworld, and it's trying to get out of the underworld, and the massive serpent and god of the ancient
So this doesn't
Mayans.
yeah. So
That
this is like an Indiana Jones story. It doesn't really follow
no,
anything that we already know about
no, it's a
Indiana Jones.
completely different storyline. It takes
Right.
place before one of the last movies in the 50s. You have the massive animatronics, and this is actually the first time they're using Harrison Ford as the model for the animatronics and the ride.
Oh,
He's never his likeness is not in the other ones. That's why it's always kinda, like, vague and off in the distance.
I see. Very interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and the outside it's Mayan. The outside of the temple now is very intricate and very true to the Mayan culture. They have taken pictures and just moved them so that they are respecting the Mayan culture and truly showing what a Mayan temple would have looked like or kind of does look like now.
Oh, here I see. The serpentine creature is called the Sukan. Is
Right.
the T silent?
I don't know, which is why I skipped over it
Sukan.
because you know how bad I am with pronouncing words.
But this, just the fact that they're going to have giant bats, large scorpions, fire, snakes, and repeated encounters with the Sukan. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be fun.
Yep. And like I said, the Imagineers have worked with archaeologists, anthropologists, and Mayan experts from Honduras so that they can, and that's what I love. And Joe Rohde wrote this to Animal Kingdom. That's what I love about Animal Kingdom. It is true to life and history to the best of its ability, except obviously in Pandora. What you're looking at is the Disneyfied, yes, but not too Disneyfied version of whatever section you're in.
Well, any artist needs a rendering to go off of, and you might as well go to where the architecture actually is and get architecture that's going to work for your particular attraction. And it's one of the things that I love both about Disney and Universal. Just they're over the top, striving towards something that's super realistic, but that's also easy to make.
Yeah, yeah.
In a concrete.
And then, like I said earlier,
Made stone.
in the main area, there's going to be a carousel, El Carousel de los Animalitos. I can't pronounce that. I failed Spanish too many times. Basically, it is called
Animalitos.
the Animal Carousel. And I translated it.
This looks fun.
This
looks like a lot of fun.
Carousel is made up of 22 hand-carved Disney and Pixar animals, including characters like Simba, Hua, Pascal, Squirt, Eeyore, Kevin.
I want to ride Kevin. Saying that right now.
There's also a Mayan-inspired exploration and play area for children, and
Quick
obviously
service
quick service,
restaurant's gonna be
like
there as
Hacienda.
well.
So one of the bigger quick service locations for Disney World.
Disney's finally fixing the Yeti too. At least they're saying that they're gonna.
Yeah, they're getting rid of the Disco Yeti.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know, if you've ever been on the ride, when the Yeti's supposed to jump out and move, right now they just have flashing strobe lights on it.
Right.
Which is why it's called the Disco Yeti.
Yeah, this is the ride that's inside the gigantic mountain.
Right.
And it's a rough coaster. I haven't been on it in quite a while because I don't like rough coasters anymore.
So the thought is, all of us armchair Disney folks, is that they'll close it when they open up Tropical Americas because they really can't afford not to have the ride right now with all of that area closed. And that way they can close it long enough to actually fix the Yeti. And we're kind of hoping maybe replace the track.
Oh, I don't think they're going to replace the track, but it would be nice.
It's smoother.
Disney, if you're watching, we would love for you to replace the track as well.
I mean, it's been there the entire time. It's over 30 years old.
Yeah, it's a rough coaster.
It's a rough coaster.
Fun, but rough.
Yeah, especially with that backward section. Ooh.
All right. So now we're going to bop to Disneyland Resort. So in the Disneyland Resort, California Adventure, there's a new Coco area. They're getting their first Coco ride at any Disney park in the world. And it's not going to be a coaster or screen attraction. It's going to be a family boat ride with no height requirement. And Imagineers specifically say they're taking inspiration from classics like Pirates of the Caribbean and The Haunted Mansion. Very, very interesting. Story takes place about 1 year after the original Coco movie. The queue begins near Pixar Pier beside Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind. So that gives you an idea of where this is
Like that
located.
area between the two areas.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to enter a Casa Museo, essentially a house museum dedicated to the music and legacy of Miguel's great-great-grandfather, Hector Rivera. Then you board a boat and travel through Miguel's memories of the land of the dead. Miguel, Dante, Hector, and other characters will appear, with Disney saying the ride will lean heavily into the music, Mexican culture, family relationships, and emotional story of Coco. And the skeleton characters will be brought to life using Disney's newest audio animatronics technology. That sounds very interesting. Imagineers are also working with Pixar so that the ride can acknowledge both the original Coco and the upcoming sequel.
Yeah, and I think the upcoming sequel comes out at the end of 28, so I'm thinking that's pretty much when the ride's gonna open. But currently, they just added a new pirate into Pirates of the Caribbean out west. And you know how in the movie they go from flesh and bone in the sunlight and in the shadow, they're a skeleton? And this new animatronic does that. So, and then this came out and we're like, because it didn't make sense, like why he was all of a sudden there, why they had to add him. We're like, oh, no, they're really just testing it out for the Coco ride.
Yeah.
Because Miguel goes from the land of the living into the land of the dead. They all become skeletons. So it's going to be interesting, you know. And right now, I don't know much about it, but put out there that you could send memories to them of people that have passed, and they were going to like entomb them or make them part of the whole build of the ride, so that your memories of your loved ones would live in this ride.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
But again, I think it does have the possibility, if it's done right, to become one of the signature attractions there at DCA.
Oh yeah, and you know, Coco's a
Who doesn't love a nice boat ride?
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on.
And they don't have a boat ride besides Small World.
Right.
Yeah, they need one.
Oh, they have over in Disneyland.
Small World.
No, there's
Pirates.
that other one. No, goes through the whale.
Oh, storybook
There you
boats.
go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
It barely moves. Then we have the Adventures Campus in Disney California Adventure, getting 2 new rides. It's doubling the area that it's going to be in. The first one, Adventures Campus, is going to be getting Avengers Infinity Defense. This is weird to me. You haven't seen all the movies. I know you don't know all the timelines and
I'm not up to the whole thing.
So I think you will enjoy this.
It looks really, really interesting. Some parts of it look like wow.
Yeah.
Like they're really going to subject somebody to that.
Yep. So
fascinating to me.
The guests are going to be the new Avenger recruits. We're going to get our talk by Miss Marvel, who is the teenage version of, and something has gone wrong across the multiverse. We need to reassemble the Avengers to stop King Thanos. We will be traveling through places like Asgard, Wakanda, New York City. Anthony Mackie returns as Captain America. Jeremy Renner will be returning as Hawkeye. Chris Hemsworth as Thor. And Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. None of those 4 people haven't been in a timeline together. Like Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man is dead when Anthony Mackie becomes Captain America.
Again, I think you're going to have to suspend.
It's the multiverse thing, I guess. I don't know. The multiverse makes everything so confusing.
Anything can happen in the multiverse.
So they're promising massive physical sets that blend with huge media scenes, rather than just parking in front of scenes. And one of the models or pictures I saw was like an immense, like 5-foot tall Thor's hammer. So I have a strange feeling that there might be some pin particles in here, maybe the size of ants a little bit at some points and bigger at other points.
I don't know. It just looks like it's got a lot of potential to be really cool.
And then of course it ends
really
with us fighting King Thanos.
Yeah.
So it's it's got a lot of potential, I think.
But then this other ride? I watched the video for this other ride, and it's not exactly a video. It's a lot of stills.
Yes. Dark Flight Lab. So it's a 2-person gyrokinetic pod. The pods are going to move along the track, and they're going to position themselves in front of a giant robotic arm. It's going to hook to the back of it, and then my romance partner, and then it's going to pick the pod up and send the riders through high-speed movements designed to simulate training to fly like an Avenger. Now, also supposedly, maybe it was the Dwarf Coaster, one of the two of them were going to be flying up really quickly. So, like, it starts as, all I could think of is that we're in these two pods and they're doing it that way they're doing it is to keep the loading going faster because there's only two people on each thing. The
Right.
loading's going to take a while.
We don't know
But
how
if
many
they
vehicles there are.
but if they break up, then we could all be loading and then getting some sort of
But
entertainment before we get attached and whipped around like mad people.
the first thought that jumped in my head when I started watching the pictures, looking at the pictures of the ride, is thinking about the first time that Tony Stark's character had the jetpack on.
Oh yeah, and he's flopping
He's
around there.
slamming all over the place. Yeah, because it really looks like that's what they're going to subject you to. Some like really dramatic movements because it's a giant cantilever arm kind of thing.
Right.
That the
It looks
pods
like
are
the
hooked to.
same ride dip thing as like Forbidden Journey.
Right. Or Monsters Unchained.
Right.
Yeah. That it allows you to move anywhere
Yeah. Yeah.
that the computer decides you should go. Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah.
But that whole area of DCA was a bit of a letdown to me when we walked through it, because I didn't really feel that there was an awful lot to do. So I think this is a welcome addition.
Yeah. Well, it needed to be. They always planned on doubling the area, and it got cut in half during COVID. But
It's nice to see that they're pushing
pushing forward, and I think it does really need it. Though I do miss the fact that the red line car got ditched because of it.
Yeah, and now, so in this last one here, Disney dropped a potentially huge Disneyland announcement without giving us many actual details, but apparently Tomorrowland in Disneyland is being reimagined as well. Disney says the new version will honor the legacy of Disneyland's original Tomorrowland while creating new attractions, more open spaces, and new places centered around imagining the future. That's basically all they've commented on so far. No list of attractions, no concept art, no opening timeline, no announcement of what is staying and what is going.
We barely even went into Tomorrowland when we were there.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing there anymore.
No, there really
You've got the cars.
Right.
The Nemo ride. I don't know if that's part of the submarines or part of Tomorrowland or just the entrance. But Carousel of Progress is gone. People Mover's gone. It's a hodgepodge of nothing.
Right.
So it needs the help.
It needs the help.
And I don't know if they just announced it to shut people up or they really have some plans going. People have been complaining in Disneyland for quite some time. Disneyland is also bringing back several major entertainment offerings in 2027. Remember Dreams Can Come True fireworks show returns in February. It's an updated version with projections on Sleeping Beauty Castle. Also, then, of course, on Small World, Rivers of America. Because they don't always have fireworks, so very often the projection show is it. World of Colors coming back. Updated Magic Happens Parade, which is a great parade.
Truly is
coming back. And that's all that's happening in the domestic parks. We got some updates about new Spider-Man roller coaster in Shanghai, a new Spider-Man something in Tokyo. Tokyo's getting a whole new Lion King area with the Lion King Loom Ride. So lots happening in the overseas parks as well. We aren't focusing on that because, well, we live here.
Right. But, to your point, it's nice to see all this expansion.
Oh, yeah.
Improvement. I think they're, really taking care of the parks and making the parks even more enjoyable than they are. And that's good for everybody.
Right. And for a little bit there, it kind of felt like Disneyland was getting this and Disneyland was getting that. And it was like, what about Florida?
Well, now Florida's happening.
Now Florida's happening. And I realized that, Disneyland's got 25 years on us or something like that. But both parks needed a lot of upgrades and just tweaking too, like Carousel of Progress. Don't get rid of it. Love it. Just needs to be tweaked, same thing with Spaceship Earth. Just tweak it a little bit like they did with, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which another great overhaul.
A lovely transformation.
Lovely transformation.
Very, very nice.
I realized I got rid of my last page that we always mess up on.
I haven't gotten rid of it.
So I've got nothing else unless you've got a comment. No.
I'm all colored out.
You're all colored out. So thank you very much for listening to The Adventures of Two Gray Mice. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you happen to listen.
You can follow us on Instagram at Two Gray Mice Podcast.
If you have any questions about taking your vacation, getting vacation help, or any questions about the podcast, you can reach us at the number 2 graymice@gmail.com.
And also, you can reach out to us if you're planning a vacation or thinking about planning a vacation. We love planning. Until next time, I am Rob.
And I'm Meg.
And
we are Two Gray Mice. See ya.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Welcome to episode 51.